are still with us. This is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's get straight to our main conversation for today. A coalition of opposition leaders, including Atiku Abubakar, Peter Atiku-Obi, Rotimi Amaechi, and Nasir el-Rufai, has taken control of the African Democratic Congress (ADC) as a new platform to challenge President Bola Tinubu in 2027 elections. The move was formalized with the appointment of Senator David Mark and Rauf Aregbesola as interim national chairman and secretary, respectively. However, the takeover has sparked internal dissent, with some party members, including 2023 ADC presidential candidate Dumebi Kachikwu, rejecting the development. Kachikwu accused the Atiku-led group of collaborating with the former party leadership, whose tenure he claims expired in 2022. He criticized the group as yesterday's men, lacking vision, and accused them of trying to hijack the party without due process. Kachikwu questioned the legitimacy of the takeover and dismissed the coalition as a recycled political class clinging to power. The takeover event drew a high-profile crowd of former governors, ministers, lawmakers, and political figures, signaling a broad-based effort to build a strong opposition bloc ahead of 2027. Despite internal protests, the coalition appears determined to use ADC as its vehicle for unseating the current administration, while Kachikwu warned they may soon be shopping for another platform. I still have Emeka Mandu. Now, go. Thank you so very much, Emeka, for hanging on.
Thank you very much.
All right, so Emeka, let's get into the crux of the matter. It's no longer news, obviously. From ADA, now they've gone to the ADC. The question is, are you sure with this Kachikwu's move, they might not be looking for some other party?
What is he going to do?
With the Kachikwu, of course, stating that they have come to hijack the party. And
Kachikwu is a clown.
Really?
Yeah. He's just been a comedian.
Why would you say so?
Nobody closes their doors to new members. ADC is a relatively small party.
Yeah.
But heavyweights are coming to your party and are talking like that. You should not be taken seriously. You're just a jester.
But for someone who has paid his dues
Which
with the
dues?
party,
Which dues?
The party, he contested.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anybody can join a party and contest. Was Kwankwaso a founding member of NNPP, New Nigeria People's Party? Was he? He wasn't. In fact, there was a time the party said they had even expelled him. So what is the big deal? Who is Dumebi Kachikwu? He was just a contestant, and that's all. He's done, and he should go. The leadership of the party said we're welcoming heavyweights. It's in Nigeria that you see such things. You see people behaving as if, they are not politicians. Look at how Tinubu, look at how, the former chairman, national chairman of APC, Ganduje, see how they were celebrating defectors. Heavyweights, political heavyweights have defected to your party and giving your party prominence everywhere. Now people are talking about ADC, and you are saying that they'll be looking for that platform. No, it shows that that fellow, if he's not careful, he'll be expelled from the party.
But don't you think this is just but a repetition of what had happened with the Labour Party with Apapa?
But at the end, where's Apapa today? Where's Apapa today?
But they have all destroyed the party, and that is what we're talking about. If we have pockets of people who are not satisfied,
you know what happened?
Think that would kill the party?
You know what happened in the case of Apapa? He was claiming what was not his. At the end of the day, the court told him clearly now that he didn't own the party, that he wasn't. The political party is equal joiners, equal founders, equal joiners. And, there was nothing that, what was his name? Namidi Apapa had. He was deputy national chairman of the party and said that Abure's tenure had expired, and so he was supposed to be the chairman. But at the end of the day, he could not make any claim. So at the end of the day, they had to come back together. The Abure and Apapa factions.
And where's the party now?
No, the party is existing. No, the party has an acting executive. Have you heard Julius Abure talking since? Have you heard him talking? Of course, he has been told now that, look, the Labour Party is not comatose. No. The party is not comatose. Was it not the party that held unveiling, that unveiled these candidates for local government in Lagos State, and then a monarch in Lagos State suspended chiefs? If the party was comatose, would he have done that event? Would the monarch have said, have suspended chiefs? And so what it tells you is that let's not buy into this defeatism narrative being pushed about by Tinubu and his lackeys. We should not buy into it. Tinubu said the opposition is in disarray and it's a pleasure for me. Okay, no problem. He has now also been shown that if you know how to play the game, we too can play it better. When you expel Rauf Aregbesola, did you think he would go to his home and just sit down and be sulking? And be waiting for another day for you to call him? No, he's a professional politician. Soldier go, soldier come, barracks remains. Now that he has come, they are crying. Tinubu's people are crying. They're calling Rauf Aregbesola a betrayer. Betrayer of who? Was Tinubu not there when he was expelled? For what? For doing what? What Tinubu didn't do? Even worse? Even worse? Did they support No Ribado as candidate of the presidential candidate of the ACN in 2011? Did they support Atiku in 2007 as presidential candidate of the Action Congress of the AC? So what are we talking about? Ribado won only in Osun State in 2011. Only in Osun State. No Ribado. Only in Osun State. And Rauf Aregbesola was governor of Osun State then. Because he stood by Ribado. Aregbesola stood on principle. Was Tinubu principled? When people just talk as if we've lost our memories. No! We were witnesses. Aregbesola stood on principle with no Ribado. Tinubu preferred to play this way and that way because he was supporting Jonathan. In 2007, did he not swing towards Yaradua? Because here Yaradua used to be in the same People's Democratic Movement, founded by the late General Shehu Musa Yaradua, and whose leadership was taken over by his brother when Yaradua died, his younger brother, who later became president, Umar Musa Yaradua. So what are we talking about? You are calling him a betrayer when the person you are supporting is even a worse betrayer. But
Emeka, looking at those who have come together to form the ADC, Nigerians have labeled.
No, not to form the ADC. The ADC has been in existence,
of course,
since was it not 2003 or something?
Yes. So to flesh it up, if I might use that word or the adjective, Nigerians have concluded that these personalities were the same people who have destroyed this nation.
Who said
Amaechi, for example.
What did he destroy?
Amaechi, of course.
And Tinubu is not destroyed. He's not doing what? Oh, come on, let's stop this. You see, it's easy. I told people, I said, look, let's come up this high horse, everything. No, coalition will not work. Now they've come together into a party. It's dead on arrival. You sit in your house with your phone. Now everybody has become, just like you do with football. Everybody is a football pundit. Everybody knows which coalition. Come on. What are we talking about? Another election season is coming. No, it's coming close. It's drawing nearer. We are not yet ready. Many of these people talking, they don't have PVCs. INEC will begin another round of continuous voter registration. How many of these people whose children have got to 18 years are getting ready to take their children to get PVCs? How many of them have PVCs? We are talking about we need a virile political culture. Tinubu said the opposition was in disarray. But the opposition has come together. His spokesman, Bayo Onanuga, very funny character, saying that they are destroyers of Nigeria. Oh, they are destroyers of Nigeria. But Tinubu was a national leader of APC when Amaechi was Minister of Transportation. Tinubu came back to say, through some funny fellows, Oshomole and Ribado and other things, that Buhari destroyed the Nigerian economy. Who was the one giving them advice on the running of the economy? Was it Tinubu? Didn't the former Minister of Finance, go and Google it, Former Minister of Finance, Kemi, what's her name?
Kemi, yeah.
Didn't she say that Tinubu was guiding them in terms of economic policies? He's there. But Buhari destroyed the economy. Which economy did he destroy? Was Nigeria not earning revenue? Was Nigeria not earning revenue? Go and ask questions.
But Emeka, looking at the structure, you know, of the party, don't you think that all they are doing is merely just scratching the surface? Because we all know how politics work in Nigeria is riddled with so many things. President Bola Tinubu is an architect when it comes to, you know, all of these things. So don't you think
he's an architect, and he was defeated in Lagos in 2023 presidential election? Come, let's stop turning people to God. They are mere mortals.
And you think he hasn't learned from that?
Learned what?
And how to stop that from ever happening again? Let me tell you something. Go
on the streets now. Let's hold a free and fair election today. Tinubu will lose woefully. Woefully. Even his supporters will not vote for him. Even his supporters will not vote for him. Look at what happened during the last local government, the last selection, because I don't call it election, for candidates for local government in Lagos State. Look at what happened now. Why did they start drawing up lists and all that, putting people's names and all that? If they had left it to an open process, none of Tinubu's people would have won, would have gone on that list. He will not win anywhere. So let's stop turning all these mere mortals to gods. These are people. I've been a reporter now. I've been a journalist for over 30 years now. These are people we have related closely with now. These are people we have reported now. What is so fantastic about them?
And you think his transactionary approach to politicking and getting people all to himself would not work?
You know why they are panicking now? Because the defections of the governor of Delta, Borewari, the governor of Akwa Ibom, Umoeno, they didn't produce any effect.
How do you mean?
Senators, reps,
okay,
nothing. The coalition is still standing. It's still standing. And in fact, it has opened the eyes of people that, look, we can belong anywhere. So what it means is that people can be in this party and say we are part of the coalition. People can belong here, we are part of the coalition. You deployed Nyesom Wike to hold PDP down. And they have left PDP for them. Look, let me tell you something. If I'm working in a place where I'm not meeting my career aspirations, do you want me to remain there? I will not. Not about a political party that is an association of like minds. Then somebody is using state power to destabilize the party. And people have left it. You are now saying that, why are we like this in this country? What exactly do we want as Nigerians? What do we want? A better country? From where? Angels cannot come and run, come and become president now. So what do we exactly want in this country?
But Emeka, looking at what is internally brewing, the PDP has come out to say that they will, take responsibility of disciplining anyone, any PDP member who promotes the new coalition.
Omar Damagun should first of all organize the national convention and step down. He's from the northeast. The national chairmanship of PDP should actually be in the north central. Is that not what APC is going towards? When they were being told organize conventions, national convention to elect leaders, did they do that? Now Ganduje has been forced to resign. Now they are saying they will do a convention in December. So what are we talking about? Discipline who? 2 of your governors defected, you didn't discipline them. Senators defected. Reps defected. Members of House of Assembly defected. Local government chairman defected. Councillors defected. You didn't discipline. Who are you going to discipline? Omar Damagun should resign from. In fact, as a matter of fact, he should resign from that party. Because he is one of those who have held that party down. He should resign. PDP was a party, that a lot of people loved to join and all of that. All of this noise they are just making. These people, it even promotes the suspicion that Omar Damagun is working for APC. It reinforces the suspicion because that statement You cannot even make that statement, those promoting that you discipline them. Is it David Mark who has left that you are going to discipline? David Mark wrote a letter. Take your party. Go with your party. People are going away from your party. Who are you going to discipline? They'll be shocked. There will be more defections to ADC. Some people came out and said they were concerned stakeholders. How? If the party doesn't contain you, then you go to another party.
So do we see a total collapse, a final collapse, a nail to the coffin of the PDP?
Do you know the stress PDP went through to produce a governorship candidate in Anambra? Wike was even mocking them. It was his own party that they couldn't, mocking the governors, that they couldn't at least encourage somebody to run for governor of Anambra State, you know, until until somebody came out, you know, they couldn't. So, well, yes, you will see people who will run, who might still run in 2027 using PDP and all of that. There will be people, yes. It's a political party now. There will be people and all of there will be, all of those things will be there. They will be there. But the thing is this. You see, let me tell you. It's the nature of Nigerian politics. People want to negotiate. People want to be settled. Mm-hmm. That is it. When they come and making all this noise, it's because of the highest bidder. Yes. They just want to remain within and destabilize the system, you know, and get paid. There was one in the Labour Party, there was one who was claiming he was a chairman, blah, blah, blah. After he had finished fooling himself, he moved to APC. He moved to APC. We are talking of rescuing this country from the pit that Bola Tinubu was plunged into. People are talking of that they will soon find out. Who is Dumebi Kachikwu? Who is he? Is he the owner of the party? He's not the owner of ADC. Nobody owns APC. Nobody owns PDP.
Well, let's not forget he's a big stakeholder with the party. But let's
okay, let him chase them away now. You see, let me tell you, I don't belong to ADC. Okay. I don't belong to any political party. But let me tell you, I don't like this kind of posturing. This kind of posturing that some Nigerian politicians are engaging. You are calling them enemies of democracy. You don't place yourself in a position where people will just mock you and laugh at you. Because you have no stake.
But Emeka, let's look at the political career of Peter Obi. He said that he would be willing to go for one term yes. in office. Do you even see that coming up with this coalition? Do you think that would, pander towards that area, knowing that the APC had said that the presidency would be zoned for the next 8 years to the southern part of Nigeria? No, not 8 years. In 2027. Yes. We'll be zoned to, zoning. Because that's what zoning is not. I hope you know, zoning is not in the constitution. No, it's a party thing. Party can decide on their own internal. Take note of one thing. Take note of something. This is what we intend to do. Take note of something. Yes. The ADC has not been in government. Okay. Take note that in PDP, the last person who occupied the office of who had the presidential ticket, who became president was Goodluck Jonathan. In 2015, he was the last presidential candidate. Mm-hmm. He was presidential candidate. In 2019, it was Atiku Abubakar. Mm-hmm. In 2023, it was again Atiku Abubakar. In 2023. So, for the PDP, the ticket is for the north. Is in the north. Don't forget that. Till today? If you look at it, by virtue of, Jonathan spent 5 years there. The last occupant was Yaradua. Mm-hmm. So, as we speak, if we are going to, by 2027, the south would have occupied the presidency for more years than the north. So, pushing the candidacy to the north will also be in order. It will not be out of place. Because not everybody is in APC. It's APC that chose to move it to the south because the former occupant was from the north, right? So it is not a national it's not a national thing. It is not in the constitution. It's not binding on Nigerians. I can say that, okay, in 2027, the candidate I want to support should be a northerner. It's my personal decision. And I will say I will vote for a northerner.
It's my personal decision. I don't care about zoning. But we say, okay, so I needed to clear those areas. So now, P2B, coming to P2B, yes, he has said he will serve 1 term. You know, people are saying he has the best chance of winning, you know, of giving Tinubu, you know, a tough fight, a run for his money and all of that and all of that. Yes. And P2B has now presented his credentials for that and said, okay, this is what I will do, this and this and this and this. That shows seriousness. Since Tinubu has come out to also, you know, start early, 2 years ahead. Others have to start early, 2 years ahead, so that we'll have a lot to talk about.
But do you think the presidential candidate, of course, if everything is resolved with the ADC, might tilt towards Peter Obi?
Well,
do you see that? And if it does, what are the chances?
My wife asked me that question this morning, and I said, when they get to the bridge, they'll know how to cross it.
Well, I just hope that before they get to the bridge, they won't have rift and fracas.
No.
Stemming from
in
that.
2023, have you forgotten when APC was formed in April 2013? When APC was formed, I hope you remember that there were 3 applications for APC, 3 different applications, 3 different political movements calling themselves APC. But eventually, 2 were not approved. 1 was approved, right? And then at that time, Buhari was there. When they held their convention, Buhari was there. Atiku was there. Kwankwaso was there. Then Nda Isaiah, the owner of the late publisher of Leadership newspaper, was also there. And there were others here and there, you know. So people were wondering, how will this coalition? Remember, it was ACN, New PDP, CPC, Buhari, and then a faction of ABGA, or Progressive Grand Alliance. They all came, and then the ANPP. Don't forget the ANPP. Yeah. They all came together, and people are wondering, how will this, you know, you had different people. You had Saraki, you had Atiku, you had different people from different, you had Amaechi, you had different people. But eventually, the party decided on Muhammadu Buhari. So it is still early. INEC has not, you know, of course, the ADC is going to get INEC to ratify. The ADC is going to ratify the new leadership, you know, at a convention. You know, they are going to ratify. There are methods for ratifying this thing. Just like with the people talking, saying they're calling themselves concerned stakeholders. Even Dumebi Kachikwu. Wait now, when it's time for the party's convention, when it's time to vote, don't vote. If they are saying, okay, we want to vote to ratify the leadership, don't vote. You can abstain or you vote against it. Or coming to the media to be calling people names is what I don't like. I don't like that at all. That's not how to play. That's dirty politics. We shouldn't play dirty politics because we're talking about the lives of millions of Nigerians, over 200 million Nigerians. So we must take our politics more seriously.
Emeka, for those who are serious and cautious about not designed to play dirty politics, of course it's given. President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan did not play no dirty politics, and that was why when he, you know, when Muhammad Buhari, you know, took over, he willingly, you know, accepted the defeat. President Bola Tinubu is not in that radar.
What will he do?
You think President Bola would gladly accept?
No, that is what we're talking about. How do we build a virile political culture? By rigging. I don't want to say what is being said out there, that Tinubu is banking on rigging. I don't want to believe. I choose not to believe it.
But Emeka, given what happened in 2023, February 25th, he has the judiciary with him right now. He has the security with him.
Is that not
INEC is still.
Is that not a disgrace?
There's still no comprehensive.
That is why. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, a day will come when all that will change. If you are not willing.
And would that day be 2027? Before 2027?
I don't know. I don't know. But let me tell you something. Concerns have been raised about the conflicting judgments of the Supreme Court. Yes. Concerns have been raised about INEC's conduct. Even INEC themselves, go to their website, there's something they posted there. In their assessment of 2023 election, they acknowledge that, you know, the way they handle things left much to be desired. They acknowledge that there were lapses. Is it the security agencies? Let me tell you something. Those who fail to learn from history, yeah, are bound to repeat history. This nation is bigger than any individual. What we want is a fair contest. If you say the opposition, at the time, Tinubu said the opposition was not in existence. Later, the opposition was in disarray. Why not stand on one place? If you say the opposition doesn't exist, how come that you, Bola Tinubu, and your lackeys, your spokesmen are the chief promoters of the opposition? Is it real mockery? Every day, P2B is his agenda. So even if P2B is sleeping, even if P2B says, okay, I'll take a break, you know, for a few days and rest, real mockery will make Nigerians remember him. Abi? Sheikh Usani is there singing every day on X. You have Bayon Onuga and others. But you say the opposition doesn't exist. Well, you are the chief promoters of the opposition. Look at the front pages of newspapers today. Who are those talking? Some of the headlines or the riders are from people in government. Promoting, the opposition is dead. The ADC, they are enemies of Nigeria. People are on their own, no? You said the opposition doesn't exist, but you told hotels, owners of hotels in Abuja, not to allow the ADC to use their premises for any event until they went to Yaradua Center. Yes, or Wike even came out thinking he's still in River State. That even though we've renovated the National Conference Center, it's a 9 billion, that it will be for specific events. You think he thinks he's in his village or he thinks he's in River State. Abi? But they eventually didn't hold the gathering. They had the gathering. The other day, the PDP neck was to meet. The police went there, were shooting tear gas, beating up people. But we have bandits and terrorists. Insurgents terrorizing the people. Instead of them to go and tackle those ones, is where they have, you know, strength. It's against the opposition. It's against journalists. It's against critics of the government. It's against bloggers. Go and tackle the insecurity in the country. It's to go to a political party, a political meeting and be shooting tear gas. Let them continue. Let me tell you, Nigeria will be free from all this nonsense. One day, a matter of time, after all, the military thought they would be there forever. What happened? Did they not go? Remember Chief Vincent Ogbulafo, who was national chairman of the PDP, said one time that PDP will rule for 60 years. But what happened? Did they rule for 60 years? So the thing is this, let people realize one thing. No empire lasts forever. No empire. Even within the APC now, there are rumblings. Look at in the ADC now, you have people from, the chief promoters are from APC and PDP. Now the game has changed. It's now ADC versus APC. So let us be very, very careful. Because Tinubu was pushing this country to a one-party state. That's what he was doing. But he had to be checked. Nigeria doesn't belong to him. What he has been doing in Lagos, Baba Sokwe, no. This is a nation of over 230 million people. He cannot turn us to his slaves. No. We say no to that.
Very true, Emeka. Nigerians wish and desire for one thing, and that is to have reasons to smile. Lots of people have asserted that this would have readily of course, turned out to be a home run for President Bola Tinubu if he had heard the cries of the people, if he listened to the people, if the connection between him, the presidency, and the people were very together. But of course, the failure to do all of that could be the reason why the coalition is beginning to bite very strong. But of course, this is a developing story, and right here on Enterprise Television, we promise to bring you just that, and of course get expert hands to do a little bit of fleshing up of some of these things. This is all we have for today. Thank you so very much, Emeka, for being here.
Thank you very much.
We do appreciate you. We have to go, ladies and gentlemen. We'd love to say thank you to you. Please do well to visit us. If you may, you can always find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. I am Henry Gwibike. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.